Well, hi everyone, and welcome to today's live feed. Melissa is going to be joining me in a couple minutes. She's just kind of tucking the kids into bed, and then she's going to be here with us. So part of the reason why I'm doing today's live chat, today's live feed, is that we had plans, had big plans to go down to Colorado. My sister Heather is probably still renewing her wedding vows. I imagine that hasn't changed. Mind you, I don't know, when you renew your wedding vows, does that mean you have a chance to kind of second guess it? Like, what if you don't, do they have to say yes? I don't know how that works. I don't know if I'd want to give Melissa a second opportunity to rethink this whole situation. Either way, Heather's going to be renewing her wedding vows in Colorado next weekend, and I was supposed to be there for it, but today I made the decision to cancel my flight. And probably a lot of you are going through all kinds of craziness in your world right now. And I'm glad that I did. I didn't want to change, the way I was living or what I was doing because there's this virus going around. However, I am glad that I did do it because today they announced that if you go out of country and come back, they want you to self-quarantine even if you don't look like you're sick. I mean, I guess you don't look like you show symptoms. You might look like you're sick. Like I get bags under my eyes. Maybe they'd be like, that guy looks rough. We shouldn't let him back in the country either way. So maybe if you don't look healthy, I don't know. Anyway, so right now they're asking people in my province of Alberta to self-quarantine if you're coming back from another country. And they just announced that today. So for me, kind of lucky that I didn't go because either I could have been quarantined out there, nobody could have run the store, or I might possibly be stuck here. Anyway, it's working out for the best right now. So to all of you that were going to come and meet me in Colorado, I apologize. Heather lives out there, Alyssa lives out there, Peter, Dorian, all of these wonderful people that I know and love out there are there. So I will be going out there again at some point. We're just going to wait until this craziness subsides, probably in the next month or so here, and then we'll revisit whether we're going to be getting together. So I thought, it's hard to ignore the news that's going around. And it's hard to ignore all the things that are happening. I mean, they canceled hockey. Canadians, everybody, they canceled the NHL season. That's big news here. I mean, NBA is done, right? Did you hear that? NHL season got postponed.
Hi, everyone.
So they said that the NHL teams can't play right now.
Well, that's probably a good idea.
So it's pretty bad. I mean, they were talking about playing our Prime Minister's wife has COVID-19, has the coronavirus, so all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I went to this is why a lot of people are talking about toilet paper lately, and I understand that it's that a normal person doesn't buy a whole lot of toilet paper, but one person goes in and cleans it out. And then the normal person is like, well, heck, now I need toilet paper too. And then they go in and then they buy a whole bunch of, before you know it, nobody has toilet paper.
Yeah.
So now we're dealing with that. Lucky. Oh, thanks very much, Nathan. He's saying great job on the Rolls Royce. I'll come back to we'll talk about normal stuff here soon. I'm just basically talking about this because it kind of changed my plans. I went into Costco today because I needed a battery for the Rolls Royce that I'm working on. And somebody was giving me a hard time about wearing a dress shirt while I was working on the car. That's just how I dress. And he was like, look at this guy wearing a dress shirt and his hair is perfectly done. I can't believe it. And I'm like, is that an insult or a compliment? I'll take it either way. So I went there to go get a battery. And it's like, I've never seen, if you guys have Costco's in your area, you ever seen shelves empty? Like tons of shelves were empty. You know it's a dire situation when the Spam is sold out. And I kid you not, the Spam, okay, first off, gross. If you like Spam, I'm sorry, you need new taste buds. It's like, what do you take a pig and you're like into a can and then they just kind of roll the metal over top of it. And they're like, there's dinner. It's part of a pig squished into a can. And we went to Hawaii and they had Spam like everywhere. They had Spam flavored macadamia nuts. Somebody's on from Hawaii right now. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but what's the deal? Why does everybody out in Hawaii love Spam? Anyway, there must have been some.
You knew.
Well, because they like what, pig roast?
No, it was because
luau's?
No,
Spam luau?
Absolutely not. It had to do with the war, and it was.
Oh yeah, the soldiers brought the Spam with them. Or
yeah,
something, right?
Because it was meat that could stay. It's canned meat,
Yeah, no, seriously, they have spam flavored macadamia nuts and they sell them at the Costco. You know, one Hawaiian
Yeah.
tradition that we grew to love while we were there, they have the pig roast, you know, where they bury the pig in the ground. You should do that in reverse with your spam. You should dig a hole and then put all your spam in it and then cover the hole and never dig it up again. Anyway, I went to Costco today. And the spam was completely sold out. Not that I was looking for spam.
How
I was
did you
just
know then?
because I saw cardboard, like some crazy varmints got in there, and there was empty spam boxes, and I'm like, what is going on? Like somebody hoarded this, and somebody was like, yeah, gotta have me some spam, and they offloaded everything was gone. It was just a big mess of empty spam boxes everywhere.
Cat Brown wrote spam, 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 spammity, spam, spam, and it held it for review.
Yeah, report as spam. There's a lot of spam today in this. We might spam your inbox. See, even the word spam is known as a bad thing. If you get spam email, you're like, gross. That's spam.
I'm not a fan,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it tasted bad.
Yeah, somebody said the stores look like people are preparing for a Category
It's
5
that whole
hurricane.
mob mentality. Like people are panic. Chewy, what's happening over
I
there?
don't know, our dog's sneezing or snuffing or something. It's the mob mentality, which means that everybody's dressing up in pinstripe suits and driving around in Cadillacs. That's the
And
mob
buying
mentality.
all the toilet paper.
Yeah, that's right. I got toilet paper for you. For you, $10 a roll. And you're like, no thanks. And like, you're gonna buy some. I'm like, okay, I'll take one. They're like, you're gonna buy all of it. Is that mob mentality?
Everybody was like, there's no toilet paper anywhere. I'm like, I'm just gonna go get toilet paper. I went to the grocery store. Guess what? There was toilet paper.
People always say that it's a mob mentality.
Yeah.
I know, like an angry mob, not like the
Not
mob.
an angry mob. It's like I was sitting with my friend talking about how ridiculous the toilet paper thing was. I didn't buy any more than we needed because I wanted to make sure there was enough for everybody. And we were talking about how crazy this was. And by the end of the conversation, I thought, maybe I should go get some more. I didn't, but something in my brain told me.
That's right.
Oh,
Maybe.
Chewy barked. I am working on a vlog for anybody curious. Every segment, I turn on the camera, this dog barked. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Get ready for that.
So anyway, this has all been happening.
Edward said he loves spam.
Yes. Spam and eggs and spam and ham. That was Monty Python.
But her saying spammy, spam, spam.
Yeah,
I thought
spam,
that's-
spammity, spam and spam. That was their whole menu, was nothing but spam. Yeah, you had to be there. My dad used to like Monty Python, so we used to watch that. So a couple of things happening today, other than the world going crazy, and people getting sick, and apparently, okay. So I'll end off. I'll stop talking about the. You guys are probably all sick of this anyway.
Yeah.
But here's a couple pro tips for surviving the coronavirus. One, I went to Costco today and I did not load up on toilet paper. We bought wine. And not that I'm saying you should drink excessively. I don't know where I was going with that. Buy normal stuff. Buy what you need. Okay, here's a fun fact, and you can fact check me on this. A roll of toilet paper will last one person 18 days. So if you have 5 people in your family, you need 5 rolls of toilet paper, or 4.5 rolls roughly, to last you 14 days.
So a whole package.
One pack of toilet paper
should last a long time.
Yeah, I'll get back to talking about car stuff soon. I see the request.
So really quickly on this note, my aunt actually posted something that I think we all need to think about. We're very, wash your hands. But the truth is, if you get it, it's like having a cold or flu. But so think about, it comes with a fever, so make sure you have Tylenol and Advil on hand. Do not buy all of it, because I'd like to be able to find it after.
Oh, I already bought some.
I know, but
we're good.
But then cough syrup. If you have prescriptions that you might need, an inhaler, get it now, because if you ended up getting stuck in your house, you're prepared.
Wait,
you don't need a castle of toilet paper. You need, to be able to last that week in as much comfort as you can. Maybe pre-make some soup. Put it in your freezer. And Veronica, if you're watching this, I read it.
We should preface this by saying that we have no medical background or experience, and are only giving you advice based on no facts whatsoever. Based on common sense, perhaps.
Not just no facts, whatever.
Well, I know, but no, I'm not saying. I'm saying that we're not doctors, so people shouldn't be like.
No, we're not doctors, but
Alex says you should go out and lick all the bottoms of tables at restaurants, and you're going to be just fine. No, that's not what I'm
Don't do
saying.
that for sure.
I don't know where you're from that you have that accent. Go out and go to McDonald's and lick the bottoms of the tables and chew some gum
You
off the
know,
bottom.
one of our kids one time, we were sitting at a restaurant and I could smell mint and I looked over and they were chewing gum. I'm like,
Yeah.
where'd you get gum?
It was
We
like an
know.
elf. Free candy!
I think Dave for sure picked it off the
Ooh.
bottom of the table and we're chewing on it. And it took until I smelled the mint to, ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I feel like their immune systems are high.
Yeah, that's kid. That's the thing. They talk about kids being too protected when they're little, and then they don't, develop all the stuff later in life.
Yeah.
And then you end up getting sick as an
Yeah,
adult.
you can't.
Yeah. So,
Overprotect.
so based on that, at least Jason will be fine.
Yeah.
Let's
Poor
not name.
Jason.
Let's not name names.
It wasn't just Jason. All the kids put something disgusting in their mouth when they were little, and we had to dig it out as much as they fought.
He's just a thrifty little saver. He was like, "This is free, and I'm enjoying it. And now you don't have to buy me gum." That's what he thought.
Abigail, she had something in her mouth when she was little, and it was like, I thought it was poo, but it was those little dirt plugs that when they do the, what's it called when they put the holes in the lawn to,
Aerate.
yeah, aerate.
Yeah.
I keep saying air raid.
Well, that'd be cool if you had if you air raid your lawn and little fighter planes come and drop little
Yeah.
tiny little bombs all across your lawn to air raid it. Somebody said they have no common sense where they are. We have no common sense here because they got rid of the penny a few years ago. So now we just have nickels.
Oh my
Wah, and then the cane comes whoop, like that. Yeah. So a few things, a couple things. One is, if you missed it earlier, so this is what I did today. I went into the store and Zenobia, Hans's lady friend, came by. That's right, Zenobia. I said lady friend like that because you know what you are. Hans's lady, that's right. I can tease her. I can tease her via the internet. Hans's lady friend came by. And Zenobia, let's call her by her, let's call her, I don't know, Zenovia. Like a really, nobody's gonna know that name. I'll pick the most generic name I can think of. Let's just say Zenobia. So Zenobia came by with some footage she had from her and Hans were working on doing a renovation. Actually with one of our viewers, wanted to have Hans come by and do some work. And so he started his first little series of doing the renovation. So he's doing some drywall and fixing and putting some stuff in. So her and I worked on the video and we got it up today. So Hans's first video is up. He's helping Hans. And if you look up Helping Hans or Helping Hans on YouTube, you're gonna see two Helping Hans channels. One is a guy that plays military video games. And the other one is our Hans, who fixes stuff, but probably would still play military video games, but doesn't have a channel about that. So anyway, go check out Hans's channel. It's his first video he's had up. I don't know, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I love the fact he's out there and busy and doing it. So the update on him, he's in town busy working away. So that's really good news, and it was nice to see Zenobia. So be nice to see Hans at some point too, but we will. If you can't find his channel, go to my Facebook page. There's a link on my Facebook page. Oh, never mind. Well, Matthew's putting a link up right now. You should still go to my, thanks a lot, Matthew. Now I can't redirect them to my Facebook page where all the stuff is. Anyway, you can go either to my Facebook page or you can follow the link by scrolling up in the comments and see where Matthew left it. That was a lot of fun today to work with Zenobia and get that up there, and it was fun to see Hans busy working away. Some exciting news for us. Well, I'm not going to Colorado. That's not that exciting. That's old news now. We talked about that already. But I ended up booking a concrete guy who, well, no, he's not made of concrete. I didn't book a guy who's like, wow, this guy doesn't talk very much. That's because he's a concrete guy. You don't ask for a concrete guy and he shows up and he's, like a statue.
Matthew put your link to the Facebook for you.
Aw, Matthew is a wizard. Like I said, yeah. Matthew, who's our moderator for us out of New York, he's an actual wizard, if you weren't aware. His big floating Matthew head appears like the Grand Wizard of Oz, and he just magically puts links up for us. So the concrete man, who's not actually a statue, came in yesterday, did a quote for me, or a couple days ago, and we got it back in, and I think we're gonna book it. And we've made a few adjustments. I don't adjust like this. We made a few adjustments. I had my spine removed at the top of my neck, and now I do this all the time. We made a few adjustments to the plan, so I think it's going to be a lot better, and that's going to be really good. So that's progressing, and then pretty soon we'll have Hans and hopefully some other folks working on getting this building put together for us. And I also had a guy who owns a lumber yard here in town who watches our channel. If you're watching, howdy, and nice to see you. So he's offering us some good discounted rates on getting some supplies for the building. So we're gonna work on that. Let's see. Incidentally, this isn't abnormal, Alex. I'm just like this when I'm not presenting on
She
my
wrote
normal.
that right off.
I know. Somebody's like,
after.
what's wrong with you? What?
No, she said, what are you on tonight, Alex? Oh, no, it's just the normal you.
Yeah, it's just normal me. Yeah, so
He's excited.
I am
For
excited.
life. We're
Yeah.
here.
So that was exciting news. We have, well, I got my battery from Costco. This is what started this whole thing. This is what, when me going to Costco today was to get a battery for the rolls. I did get it, which means I can start testing out my lighting and I can start getting ready to do more work on it tomorrow. My friend Jason, who I've been friends with since junior high school, is coming by. And we're gonna do a little bit of work on the Rolls Royce tomorrow. And it sounds, it's weird. It's a weird thing to say. I feel this is gonna sound silly. I feel pretentious even saying the word Rolls Royce. When somebody's like, oh, what do you work on your car? If I said like, yeah, my 53 Ford, they'd be like, cool. But when I say Rolls Royce, I feel like I'm like, and by the way, hand me some Grey Poupon, or I need to drink my teacup with the pinky up.
Because he'll say it with that voice still. He'll be like, I'm just going to take the rules.
I'm not like this. Okay, so ask me what kind of car you're working on. This is what she thinks happens. Can you ask me?
What kind of rules are you working on?
Yeah, I'm working on, 53 Ford and 68 Rolls. That's how it comes across, I'm sure. But she thinks it's like this. She thinks it's like, well, I'm working on a Rolls Royce.
I don't
like
think that. No, I'm not saying that that's what you do. I'm saying that you're subconscious about it. So you'll
I am subconscious about it.
You'll joke around about it to them, where you'll be like, well, I'm just in the garage, I'm working on, but then you feel like you have to explain yourself.
Yeah, because it feels snobby and I don't like that feeling. I like being the guy, like seriously, on the last couple live feeds ago, I would seriously have bought an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. Well, this conversation, you can't talk about a wiener car without saying that. I'm way more comfortable with wieners than I am with Rolls Royce. I can't say anything without it sounding bad.
Wow. Thank you.
Anyway, so yeah, the truth is, in fact, that I like quirky cars. That's what I meant to say. I like cars that have character.
I feel like I must like quirky guys that have character.
Oh god. Why is this live right now? Anyway.
Well, at least it wasn't live.
Yeah, at least it wasn't live. Well,
and then you guys wonder why we have to delete some of the live streams.
Yeah, like Alexander's gonna say something really dumb. Well, just leave it in. People know what I mean. Listen, it's an Oscar Mayer car, folks. Grow up.
Yeah.
You're the immature ones, not me. I'm not immature at all. Anyway, so the big thing is here that I like quirky cars. So I'm excited about the Isetta. I'm excited about the Alfa Romeo. And some people were saying, well, what happened to your Alfa Romeo? I don't know who I think you are, but I don't know. I can't say a normal thing like, dear Alex, what happened to your Alfa Romeo? It's always got to be like some character like, Yosemite Sam in my head. What happened to your car? Pew, 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 pew. Like that. I don't know why he has laser guns either, but anyway.
The laser guns eventually come out.
The laser gun, Yosemite Sam with laser guns. What? Pew, 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 pew. That's less intimidating. Anyway, the Alfa's getting tires. That's where it is right now.
They said that you're corrupting sweet little Melissa. Sweet.
She's uncorruptible. She's worse than me, folks. She looks all innocent, but she's worse than me.
Little old me.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Did you put the video up with me beeping my horn?
Yeah. Pest me nonstop, she does. Talk like Yoda, I will. From now on. And then I won't do voices the whole time. But yeah, the Alfa's out getting, I will stay on track. I do remember what I was talking about. The Alfa Romeo is out getting tires right now. I was really surprised. So I'm going to do a video when I get the car back because then I can go take it for a little test drive and stuff like that. But The Alfa had been sitting a really long time. I got it running on the last episode. It was like, hey, it runs. But not only that, I drove it. I drove it to the shop. I drove it like all the way downtown. It was like a 35-minute drive. It made it just fine. So the Alfa Romeo runs and drives like a champ. The brakes work good. The clutch was working good. But I didn't have headlights, and I had brake lights, but I had signal lights and brake lights, but no headlights. So they got it pretty well all under control.
You did Mr. Deeds at the store today?
Yeah, I was doing and Mr. Deeds, when his buddy's sick, he's like, oh, Mom, I can't remember it now. Oh, I'm so sick, DG. I can't come into work today, DG. Oh, I got a cold. He's like, oh yeah, it's pretty good, eh? It's pretty good. Anyway, the Alfa is fine.
This goes on with the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, I have to stay on track today. I'm wearing a green tie today, by the way, because I was feeling a little frumpy at the shop yesterday, and I thought, well, heck, I'll feel better if I'm dressed. I'm not dressing as eccentric as I'd like to be, so I thought my patterned shirt and my vest and my tie would help kick it up a notch. Because I plan on being completely eccentric in about 5 to 10 years. So I got to start amping it up now, pretty much.
I don't understand
What?
I can't even imagine what you would do more.
Then be eccentric?
I mean, then already that...
I think I appear as a normal adult when I'm out in public.
I feel like...
But I think that has to change.
Oh, God.
No, I think that people see me and they think I'm like a normal person. When I'm standing in line buying groceries and stuff, they're like, that's probably some normal guy. But then I'm like, well, you know, maybe I want them to second guess, or maybe I want them to give me a little bit more space. Because they're like, oh, I'll start wearing like an eye patch for no reason. That'll be the start of it. And then I'll just get like a big gold grill. And I'll be like, hello. And I'll start talking in different like weird European accents. Hello. I'm the most interesting man in the world. Oh, where are you from? I'm from Edmonton, Canada. Which apparently I'm sounding like a vampire now. From Transylvania. And that's when I did my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I explained to my preschool class today or yesterday who the Count was. And they looked at me like I was completely nuts when I did the
The Count. See, you have to be our age or older to understand these references, but that's fine. Oh yeah, Zenobia was I was doing a Hans impression for Zenobia today. It's weird when you are, and I would do, it's just so you know, and I think Hans is on right now too. Hans, I've done my Hans impression for Hans, so it's not like I'm like, okay, he's gone now listen to this. I do my Hans impression when Hans is around, so there's a difference. It's out of respect, is what it is. Yeah.
You should grow a big mustache.
Somebody said do the Hans impression. Zenobia, okay. I have to get into Hans mode here too. Well, first, okay, hang on.
Zenobia that said it?
Hang on, I gotta do it because Hans is kind of like I'm walking, folks.
Mommy, I'm plugging my ears.
She's staying here. No, this is it. If I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it for real.
But you got the kids are trying to sleep.
Oh, come on. She thinks it's gonna be loud. So a couple things about Hans. When you do a Hans impression, you have to get your body language right. So there's kind of a like Hans, you laugh so hard that you blow, like the wind is blowing him back. So he's like you say something like, hey Hans, is that like a birdhouse in your beard, or you just, wearing that for fun? He's like, oh, come on now. Oh, come on. Oh, no. Yeah, anyway, you gotta get right into it. So I can't, it causes me pain physically to do a Hans impression.
That's karma.
I'm so mad that you get the big beard and stuff. Someday I'll get a big beard I'll go as Hans for Halloween.
Hans, I think to be fair, that means that you get to go as Alexander for Halloween.
That's right. Listen, there is only one person that laughs like Hans, and that's Hans.
Well, now there's two people.
Oh, come and hold my hand, darling. You want to see what the crazy Vikings up to?
Well, hi. Even the dog is concerned.
Yeah, anyway. So that happened. And now look, this is how controlled I am. I can be right back into
This is how controlled I am.
End scene.
Oh my
That's right. And I'll be like, so did that work out good for you? So yes, thank you very much. That was really good. Yeah.
We didn't have any wine today. Only water. I mean, like water.
Somebody
Water.
said the lighting was better way over there, but look.
Yeah, good. That light.
Is that better? Okay. Heather, is Heather on? Did I see Heather join?
Wait, I missed it.
Is that my big
I see
sister there?
Kathy.
Heather, I'm gonna miss you guys. We don't have a
Oh
chance to
yeah,
go.
you're having too much fun without me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See what you're missing? And now I don't get to go to Colorado. Hey, and Heather, if you missed the first part
No.
first part of this video, if I would have gone to Colorado, there's a good chance I would have had to self-quarantine here for 14 days. So I'm awfully glad that I didn't. No, that sounds bad. Wow, dodged a bullet there. No, I'm glad that I don't have to self-quarantine. There's no way either if I sound excited about it, that sounds like I didn't want to go visit, or that I don't want to spend time at home with my family for 14 days. Anyway, none of that stuff has happened so far. So yeah, anyway, we're all good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And this is one thing, I have a persistent dry cough as it is.
Yeah.
All
the time.
And if you guys remember my story when I went to Toronto a while ago, or to Ontario a while ago, I got the hiccups like nonstop on the flight. If I was that guy again, who was like,
Oh yeah.
and I was like that the whole flight, I would be like, they'd probably just open the ejector seat and I'd be like, off, and they wouldn't even get me. Like in my head, you cough and they're like, oh, well, we're gonna get your own private stall on the plane. And you're like, well, that's great. But if you've been on an airplane, that's probably like the captain's closet, which is like where they put like guitars and stuff. I'd be in there like standing up the whole time. So that's probably their quarantine. Because I've never seen a little sequestered quarantine area on an airplane. I don't know what they're talking about where they put these people, but.
Well,
yeah.
we don't know, right?
Somebody said there's no toilet paper in Dawson Creek until next week. Well, you know, it depends on how desperate you are.
Why?
You never really run out of toilet paper, do you? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Chewy ran away at that thought. He is awfully fluffy.
His hand's already on my back right now, wiping it on my sweater. Oh.
No, I'm not. Melissa was wise. She actually bought the jumbo Costco size thing of
But I
toilet
bought it
paper.
a while ago,
Yeah.
before I knew this was going to happen.
Before the world went
I just
crazy.
happened to be in Costco and said, oh, we need toilet paper. Do we really need that much though? Because you know, it's like that crazy package of toilet paper, which people think somehow that they need more than one of.
Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about the Alfa Romeo. It's fine, and I didn't sell it. I own it, and I'm planning on driving it this summer. The Rolls Royce, I'm working on that again starting tomorrow, and I should have a video coming up next week. And if I do end up having to self-quarantine for like 14 days, I'll just have 14 more days to work on my car. I'm a glass half full kind of person, though I don't see it as being a downside at all. It'll just give me lots of time
I think for us too, like I'm not scared of getting it. I'm more concerned about having to close my preschool, and then, I mean,
Yeah.
I would love spending 2 weeks with you guys.
True.
And then I
Ideally
can
not
focus
sick,
on
though.
YouTube.
There you go. So there is, okay, there is, what else we're going to talk about? The store. I did part one of the plan to renovate the next building. That is going to be something that's on my radar, and really I'm bringing you guys along on this journey early. It takes a long time to go through permitting, to go through planning, to make all this stuff happen. So the first few videos from that are probably gonna be spaced out a little bit, because it does take a while to get permission and permits and all that. But I thought I'd bring you guys along in that portion of the journey. And then once we get into construction come spring, summertime, then the videos will be, coming fairly regularly until that thing's built. But yes, I do have plans. When you guys were watching the video, I do have plans for an attached breezeway between the two buildings. The reason why it's not completely joined, if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch it. It's called the Old Garage Part 1. I am planning on attaching them through a walkway. I'm building the doors directly across from each other. We're gonna connect them that way. But I couldn't build it right against my other building for a couple reasons. One is my store, I had it designated as a heritage building. Now, the plus side there is that it means that people can't tear it down. The downside is that I can't do crazy things like add on to it without certain permission, and they don't want me to ruin the integrity of the building. So building it a little bit set back and a little bit away gives me, I don't have any concerns from the city. The other thing is that if we would have built onto the existing wall as I originally planned, we would have had to re-engineer the existing building and get it checked out. And I don't want to get into that mess because re-engineering a wall that was built 107 years ago is not what I want to get into right now. So building a completely separate freestanding building was the solution. And I am making a few adjustments to that space to try and make it work out. I am also trying to think of ways to make it very friendly and inviting. I'm imagining it to be a space where people can come and meet and hang out and have fun, as well as maybe find some cool treasures. So that is on the horizon. That'll be coming up next.
Can I wave back? Yeah, I can.
So I'm going to try and answer some questions in the next little bit here while we've got you guys on. And if there's certain topics you want me to chat about, or there's certain things you want me to answer, I'll certainly do my best to do that as well.
Somebody said they need a re-adventure to Mom's farm. I need a re-adventure to my mom's farm. I don't think I've been there since.
Yeah, we were going to go this weekend, but
Yeah.
we had to cancel.
Well, there's not only my grandma's turning 91.
No, she's older than 91.
No, she's not.
Pretty sure. Is she 91?
Yeah, well, she was born in 29, so what does that make her?
Older than us. She's 91. Yeah. So we
And there's snow.
didn't want to risk her grandma getting sick or anything happening like that. So
Yeah, so we're just gonna wait. I talked to my mom and she said, why don't we wait until it's a nice day? I'm like, yeah, okay. We'll make sure everybody's feeling well. And then it's nice out. It's supposed to be minus 24 Celsius and snowing, so an hour on the highway.
yeah, let's see. There is somebody was asking, will the garage be the back be affected? Okay, a couple questions. Will the garage in the back be affected by the new building? No, I'm actually leaving quite a bit of space in the backyard for future who knows what's. So that's not impeding the old building at all. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can call into the store to talk about purchasing things. Somebody's asking, if you ever are interested in purchasing something that you see in a video, you can call us. If you ever want, you can email too. But in terms of doing an online store, I have not done that. Well, we did that when we first opened, but it takes a really long time to add items to a website and to do the click to add to cart and all that. So what I would find is it would take me I kid you not, 30 minutes to put one item up with the add to cart feature and the price and everything on the website. And by the time it was up and listed, I would find out the next day that it had sold. And it was really, really disappointing because I would come home and I'd spend all that time, hours and hours and hours, putting just a few items up online just for them to sell. And then it takes even more time to go and update the website and take them down again. So basically I just post stuff on Facebook or Instagram. I'll right now I have a Care Bears animation cell and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you can go through my Instagram. You don't have to have Instagram downloaded. You can go on it a website too. And you look up Curiosity Inc. YEG, which is us. You can see items that are for sale. And if you ever see anything there, a lot of times once it sells, I'll put sold in the comments so you know whether it's available or not. But Phil is asking, have you sold the old store yet? No, but we do have tenants which are supposed to be moving in at the end of this month that have a dance studio, and with any luck that'll be happening. They're just waiting on getting their business license. How did I acquire my knowledge of antiques? I don't feel like I have a vast knowledge of antiques. I still feel like I have a lot to learn. I'm a good generalist. I know a little about a lot, if that makes sense. Well, I know enough about certain things to kind of make it so I know what to buy and what to look for, but I'm certainly not an expert. I can't tell you all the different hallmarks on silver and what type of dishes are the best dishes or anything like that. I just certainly try and learn what I can and what has interest. I know probably a lot more about maybe watches and toys and things of that nature. That's more of my my interest. But when it comes to being a general enthusiast when it comes to antiques, I started off doing this when I was 9. Like my new intro says, I started off buying and selling when I was 9 years old. And when I was that little kid, I would go to the library and sign out price guides. And other kids were signing out Dr. Seuss books, and I'd be signing out price guides on toys of the 1950s and stuff. Because I'd go to yard sales and I'd buy and sell the stuff when I was a kid. So that's why. Let's see. Have I figured out where I'm gonna put Steven's guitar in the store? Not yet. I do have plans to do something creative with it. And if you haven't seen Steven's video, he did some really creative wood burning on a broken guitar that I had. We're gonna turn it into something more creative than that. Let's see. I am going back through, gonna try and read. Do you see any questions I need to answer? Oh, somebody said, would you ever want to meet one of the Pawn Stars? I guess if they're offering me like $10,000 for like, you know, something I got at the store. If I'm selling them something, maybe I'd meet them, but I don't know. I imagine they're probably, you know, very busy doing their thing and living their lives too.
I would just see it as meeting another person, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it wouldn't be.
My dad went to their store though, and he brought back an autographed mug for me that's signed by the old man, and I have that still. Which is sad because both of those fellows are passed away now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who did?
The old man from Pawn Stars passed away a couple years ago, and then my dad went, you know, like last year
I knew
or 2
that
years
one.
ago. An idea: do a playing of each guitar in your store. I guess I could. I know what I want to do, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion on this. Is that maybe once a week or every couple weeks or so, we would I'll do a walk around of stuff that's actually in the store for sale. Not that I don't want to be like a home shopping network, but I want to talk about some of the cool stuff that's in the store, or things that are coming in.
It'll be like you get to go to the store and you didn't have to come all the way here to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So I could do
Shopping
something like
from
that.
home.
Like maybe a live feed where I'm like, okay guys, let's walk around the shop and here let me talk
Yeah.
about some of the cool things. Somebody said, what happened to all the Funko Pops? Well, they're going up for sale all the time.
Yeah.
In fact, there's another big Funko Pop auction happening at Kastner Auctions, kauctions.ca. They don't have it live yet. I was there yesterday and they're just putting all the boxes together. So that stuff will all be up and available very soon. So probably in about the next week or two, there will be, every weekend, essentially, there's stuff being sold out of that warehouse. So there's still lots to go.
Oh, I see my dad. Hi, Dad.
Oh, I appreciate that you liked the visit to the New York Toy Fair. That was a lot of fun. I had fun at that show. It was a lot of really interesting people. If you didn't watch my video where I went to the New York Toy Fair, I just thought it was a fun video. You know, other than the fact that I went there, I tried to approach that video so you guys knew what it was like to be a buyer. Because a lot of times you see, I think YouTube channels go and they look at what the newest, latest toys are, and a lot of times it's technology related. I was there just looking for cool stuff that I could sell at my shop. You know, and I was trying to talk about what was market dependent and what kids might like in my neighborhood. So we're trying out some new things and seeing if maybe we'll have a little bit of interest in it. Some of the stuff is still showing up there. Let's see. I was disappointed they have a Pierre Trudeau picture on their store wall. However, very cool shop. Well, the Pierre Trudeau signed picture that we have at our store is there with lots of other people's pictures. It's not a political statement. It's a store inventory. We are not political on this channel. So you can't be disappointed because you don't agree with somebody's picture on a wall.
Well, they can
Yeah, I mean,
they can disagree with
you don't have
whatever
to
they
buy
want.
it.
Yeah.
Somebody else might, I guess,
Yeah.
but he is a historical figure. Just like I have a John A. MacDonald signed letter.
We have
and-
something, it would be
yeah.
really not smart for us to only cater to what we like or don't like.
Yeah. So no, I mean, basically I bought a collection of historic autographs from somebody. Yeah. So there's, Nitrous Diecast says, you're disappointed I missed out on the super treasure hunt. Yeah. Somebody was going through my store the other day and I had all those Hot Wheels out for $2 a piece. And he's like, did you do any better than $2? I'm like, well, that's pretty cheap. There's a lot of good ones in there. He's like, okay, fine. He pays up. He's like, because I found this, and it's like a $40 treasure hunt. I'm like, well, good for you. That's good that he found something neat in the store.
Although he wanted an additional
But he wanted
sale.
an additional discount off
Good
it.
thing I wasn't there. I would have given them the like, what?
But Nitrous Diecast, Dave was there in the store, and somehow you missed it. And I swore he went through every single car, and somehow you missed it. I don't know. But yeah, we sell all sorts of different things in the shop, from signatures from historic people. I have a, oh my goodness, the JFK, the Warren Commission. I have an original Warren Commission that is autographed, obviously not by JFK, that'd be crazy. It's autographed by the president which preceded him. It's autographed by Gerald Ford. Boy, I was having a real hard time with that one. So I have a Gerald Ford autographed Warren Commission at my store right now. And I don't even have that out on display. Like it's sitting behind my counter, and it's this amazing piece of history that's signed by a US president about the death of a US president, about the death of JFK. Really cool piece. I should probably put that out or show pictures of it or do something with it. Yes, and Gerald Ford was on the Warren Commission, which is why he signed it, and then he later became president, of course. But so lots of really cool stuff. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. Are you still considering selling the Spartan Bluebird radio behind you? No, I'm just gonna taunt you with it.
My head's kind of in the way.
The Spartan Bluebird might be for sale, but that's kind of an expensive radio. So you'd have to be a pretty serious contender and throw me an offer I couldn't refuse for that, because I've never had one of those before. I had when I was a kid, I had a book. I'm not a normal kid. I was not a normal kid. I'm not a normal kid now. I wasn't a normal kid there. When I was a child, younger than this, I had a book on Art Deco, and the beautiful Art Deco things were in that radio back there is in that book as being one of the most beautiful radios ever produced, and I agree, it is absolutely lovely. But if anybody's ever serious about it, I mean, you can ask, but yeah, you can certainly ask. Let's see. I still have some stuff on eBay. Somebody's asking about watches and stuff. On occasion, I put stuff up on eBay with the buy it now or best offer. A lot of my more higher end wristwatches went up there. You know, like if you're looking for a Tudor or Omega or something like that, it's up. We're Curiosity Inc. on YouTube, or we're obviously Curiosity Inc. on YouTube. We're Curiosity Inc. on eBay too, so on ebay.ca. You can find us there. So if you're ever looking at, okay, I'm gonna try and answer some questions here.
Turquoise rotary dial wall phone.
Don't have one, no. Would I try to buy a steam car? You mean a car that's overheating? I've had cars that do that. Or do you mean like an early steam-powered automobile, like a Stanley steamer? Because I guess to answer that, I would buy both. I would buy either a car that overheats, or I would buy a car that is a Stanley steamer. Don't know what I'd do with it, but they both sound kind of intriguing to me right now. Maybe not the overheating part, but let's see. I'm gonna try and answer some other questions here. Would I ever get into large antique furniture? Only if somebody didn't lock me inside of it. Like if it's a cupboard or a trunk, that's the type of antique furniture I would probably fit inside of, but I'm guessing they're asking if I'd ever sell larger antique furniture. And yeah, I would, but right now we don't have the space for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I really have to add on to the store. So at some point, yeah, maybe down the road. Maybe once we get this edition, but I have a feeling in my head, this edition is already full of stuff that we already have. So I don't know, we're gonna have to think about it. Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to see. People are talking about hand sanitizers. Now, they're just ignoring us, but they're just chatting amongst themselves now.
A lot of places it's sold out, so you have to use 99%, which is the isopropyl.
We could just sit here and just let them chat, which is fine.
Are you planning on doing a basement in the new building?
I am not planning on doing a basement in the new building for a couple reasons. One, you have to have different type of drainage. You have to have a sump pump. It would add a lot of expense. If I was going to do anything, I would probably add a second floor. But really, when you have a retail shop, a lot of people don't like walking upstairs. Like if you've ever been in an antique store and it's got a second level, it's the main floor where all the action is. So your best money is spent on maximizing your main floor square footage rather than spending it on basements or outbuildings or things like that. So I'm trying to put our money into maximizing the square footage on the main floor. And we will have a lot of room to possibly expand off of the back at some point if we ever decide to do that. Hopefully that answered your question, but no, I'm not planning a basement on the store right now. And incidentally, a lot of you guys had wonderful creative ideas like, well, if I was building it, I'd put 3 stories on it, or I'd build a basement and I'd like do this or that. Well, that costs a lot of money. Those are great suggestions, but this stuff isn't free. So they're like, Alex, I can't believe you're not adding 5 stories to your building. Well, come on now. Come on now. Anyway, We're doing this on my own budget here, so I gotta figure out how to do this on my own, so.
It's free for us, though, Daniel. You're right. It is free for you.
Yeah, it's free for you guys. People are always like,
But you never know where a suggestion might lead to inspiration. So
yeah.
even if it's meant as like, oh, I can't believe you're not doing this, sometimes it inspires. So
yeah, so I am planning on doing what I can with what I have right now. That's kind of how I operate my life. You aim for things and then you try and find a way to pay for it without going into crazy debt. And we're not, we're trying to get the stuff, as far along as we can. Let's see.
I don't know what look I gave you, but I can imagine it.
Okay, will the new garage be, okay. Are you planning a car showcase behind your garage door? Yes. I'm just reading the comments too right now, but when the garage door goes in, the idea is that I will have some kind of cool vehicle on display in that building parked there. Also gives me extra storage, but then when you're driving by, you'll see the car in the garage door and it'll be on display and cool, and I'll have special lights lighting it up. It'll be like a showpiece, like a showroom door. Though the garage door is gonna be entirely glass. The goal here is not to, you wanna delete that one? I got him. There we go. So the goal here is not to try and make it look like it's a 100-year-old building. The goal here is to make it look like it's a 100-year-old building that's been retrofitted with modern stuff, where people will walk in and they'll go, cool old garage, like what did they used to do here? Like I took a garage and then I made it look funky and cool and made a store or something out of it. That's the idea. And then you'll go, well, wait, it's not an actual old garage. I decided to make an old garage that looked like it was retrofitted into a store. And they'll be like, that's a random idea. And I'll be like, that's right, I know, because I'm almost eccentric. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, so let's see. I'll try and answer a few more questions here before we log off for the night too.
On our camera, you can only see like up to my neck. But I noticed on my iPad, everyone could see me itching my back.
Yeah, that's good.
Sorry.
At least it was your back. Could have been worse.
It was my back.
Did you see my comment about looking into Martin doors for glass garage doors? I haven't started looking into the garage doors yet, but I will find somebody to do the garage door. There's lots of restaurants use them. They're pretty common to find a glass garage door. So
I've heard the comment more than once on a live where we should do a daytime live for the people in the UK and everything so that they can make a live. Because somebody's on that just happens to be up in the middle of the night and sees that we're doing a live. Well, I'm glad you made it, but you should be sleeping.
Yeah. So there's going to be all kinds of, the two white with black overlay hanging Art Nouveau lamps still for sale. Those are not for sale, and I have 3 of them. Those are going to be for the new build, for the new location. I actually picked those up specifically with something in mind.
I'm going to grab my phone quick because the iPad died.
Okay. The iPad died.
It was only at 10%, I was pushing it.
iPads and batteries are so dramatic in phones. They die. They don't just turn off. It died! Her iPad died in her arms tonight. Anyway. So I guess she's gonna go get a new phone. I'll sit here and chat with you guys. I will give you a total cost rundown at the end of the Rolls-Royce project when it's all done. When the Rolls-Royce is done, I imagine if I do an okay job of it and it's a decent driver, it'll probably be worth somewhere around $60,000 or so. Canadian is my guess. That's about you can kind of find a beater Rolls-Royce convertible for around 50,000, 40,000, somewhere around there. It's going to be a nice car. The body on that car is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it looks nicer and nicer every time I see it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm going to have to research what they're kind of selling for, but I am trying to make sure that I don't get in over my head on it, and right now we're okay. Tomorrow I'm going to try and change the oil on it and start getting it ready to maybe attempt to start. It's turning over just fine, and I think it'll be just like the Alfa, where if I clean the gas out, it needs a new fuel pump, but if I do that work to it, I think that car will start.
Can you imagine Alexander passing up a fire truck, like an old fire truck?
What, buying one?
You would buy a fire truck for sure.
No.
Like an old one?
Nope.
We almost bought that one old fire truck, like years and years ago.
Well, maybe. It's not that I don't think they're cool, it's just...
They take a lot of space, and it's...
Somebody's like yelling in capitals, please no singing. Is it that bad? Okay, I won't sing. That's fine.
We'll warn you, and then you can,
Yeah. I wasn't planning on singing today anyway. We do that
The
on
kids are sleeping.
we do that on other stuff. Okay, so let's see. Hans is on. Yeah, there's all sorts of people we know have YouTube channels now. Bob, Hans,
It helps that we're like,
Josh,
you should start a YouTube channel.
Dakota. Well, sure. I mean, our
Yeah.
mission in life is trying to encourage people to enjoy doing what they love doing, and if they're you know, wanting to start their own channel and do things that they love, then yeah, of course I'd encourage somebody to.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And because we have a lot of fun on YouTube, well, with you guys, we want them to be able to experience that as well. Plus, they're kind of you guys are all part of our big YouTube family, so.
How rare is my ambulance? At this point, I would say it's well done. It's not rare anymore. It's lived a good life. It's fairly rare. I mean, I don't know when the last time you saw a '73 Pontiac ambulance driving around. There's not a lot of them out there. But rare doesn't necessarily mean desirable, because you got to be a bit of an oddball to buy an ambulance like me. Or Bob thinks it's cool, but yet he won't buy it off me. I think this spring I'm gonna do a little bit of work to the body on that car and kind of make it look nicer. The driving it in winter the last few years has been a little bit tough on the lower. It doesn't have through rust, but it is starting to get some surface rust, which I want to get on top of before it you know, gets out of hand. So that car will be getting a little bit of attention, but it would be so expensive to restore the ambulance to do the whole body on it. I'm not going to. I'm just going to fix up just the rockers on it and then call it a day, pretty much. Yes, I looked into the Wienermobile. It was a fake ad. Somebody put up an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile ad because they were trolling somebody else on a buy and sell page, and they put the guy's cell phone number and said, "Call me anytime if you want to buy the car." And apparently he got like harassed nonstop about it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but sadly for me, I couldn't buy it.
Well, if you ever wanted one, I'm sure you could find one.
No, I don't know. I would definitely buy one, but I'm trying to think about what else is quirky to own. But I sold the little Austin van. Was amazing. It didn't need anything, and I had big hopes for it, but I sold it, and I'll tell you why. Before you get upset and say, "I can't believe you sold it. It was such a cute vehicle." I wasn't expecting the Alfa Romeo to come home. I got a call really out of the blue. I kind of knew about that car a couple years ago, and I ran out of space. And I'm not a person I don't believe in storage lockers. I don't believe in having more space than you need. So I decided one car had to go. And when I looked at the practicality of it, albeit it was very cute, if I need to go and do a delivery, its storage capacity isn't that much. It can't do highway speed. And it didn't really have a heater to speak of. So right now I have the ambulance that does all that stuff for me. So as a delivery vehicle, it was not very practical. So I thought, well, I already have a practical vehicle. I did not have a fun little sports car. And I looked, if you had your choice between a little Alfa Romeo sports car and a little Austin van, I think a lot of folks would probably take the little Italian sports car. And the cool thing about the Alfa Romeo, and this is normally if I'm editing a video, I can add pictures and stuff in. The Alfa Romeo in 1966 was its first year. That was the last car designed by Farina himself. Farina having designed the Aston Martin DB5, which you like. He designed almost every Ferrari Farina has designed most every Ferrari ever made. Pininfarina. They are an outstanding maker of automobiles, and when you wanted a bespoke Italian body made for your car, that is what you would get. You'd get a Pininfarina design, and they would do the body for you. That's why you could get Italian design, you know, like a Fiat or Alfa Romeo, or you could get even, I think there was Nash's you could get that had the special Italian Farina design bodies. So really, really cool car. The fact that it's the last one that Farina ever made, and it looks like having a 1960s Ferrari.
We are in the sitting room at the top of the stairs.
Yes, we're upstairs.
We call it the bonus room.
Yeah, this is the this is the room that I did the little reno on. We did the renovation series on. So if you haven't subscribed to Hans' channel, please do go check it out. Helping Hands, I thought that was fun. Helping Hands. Oh, thanks, Jan. Somebody said, "Are you wearing makeup?" I get that a lot, surprisingly.
I bug him about it all the time because I know it. He's like, he gets asked it and he's like, why do people think I'm wearing makeup? So every once in a while I'll be
Well,
like, hey, your eyeliner's like on point. And he's like,
for starters, if I wore makeup, I wouldn't have these dark circles under my eyes. I would do something about that. Um, and no, I'm not that talented
but
at putting on
ladies,
makeup.
did you ever notice that guys tend to have like really nice long eyelashes? Why? They don't need makeup. They've already got eyelashes.
Abigail's got long eyelashes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Abigail
I
does.
don't.
Yeah.
I need the mascara help.
Yeah. Now they're all agreeing. Yeah. Oh, it's not fair that guys have long eyelashes. That's because we're out in the dirt doing manly stuff and we need long filters over our eyes because, we're out sowing the fields and, hauling bags of oats across the farm and whatever.
Joseph said, because we're the prettiest species.
Long eyelashes are in fact very manly because it means we have to filter all the dust out, right?
You know what
I'm just making this stuff
you know
up.
what I think of instantly with long eyelashes?
What?
Snuffleupagus.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can kind of imagine his voice right now. Because it's the same guy that did all the voices on, and they let him go. The guy that did Oscar the Grouch and Big Bird and all that stuff. Who fires Big Bird anyway?
I didn't think they fired him. I thought he was just.
No, I think they kind of just early retired him is what happened. They're like, we appreciate what you've done, but thanks. Yeah, things change, I guess. 1 minute Big Bird's getting fired, the next minute they're closing down the NBA and the hockey season. And no, I think before he passed away, he had been let go or was gone. There was a whole documentary about
I
it
can't
anyway.
remember what it was. We watched it even. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, he died.
Recently he passed away. Yeah. Anyway, that was only about a month ago or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Pegtooth is saying, I'm suddenly proud of my nose hair. You should be. Pegtooth, who's one of our regular viewers there, if you're proud of your nose hair and you also fancy a handlebar mustache, but you don't have the capacity to grow this out, you could just let that nose hair grow out and just give it a little twist. Just give it a twist. And people will be like, that's a fancy mustache until you sneeze and then it blows up.
You were worried about me telling people that they should stock up on like getting stuff for fevers, but you're encouraging nose hair growth.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's right.
Make sure to let them know if you ever do that Alex sent you.
You could do the complete mirror image beard too, or you could have the beard and mustache here, and then just have the exact same beard and mustache on top of your head, and you'd be like, "Where did I go? Am I here or am I there?" And you could have a beard up here too. I know the fun you could have. Maybe somebody would I wonder if there's anybody out there who's bald and is clean shaven, but they have really big sideburns. Like that's all you've got going on is big side. Is there a picture of that guy on the internet somewhere? Like a guy with big mutton chops, but nothing else?
Well, now if I see your search history is that, it'll be a little less
If
concerned.
bald men with mutton chops.
Like,
Yeah.
what is your dad looking at?
Yeah. Anyways, but now this is how people get lost in the internet. 1 minute you're thinking about a nose hair, handlebar, mustache. The next minute you're looking up bald guys with mutton chops. That's how the internet works, folks. That's how you go down the rabbit hole. Actually, that's how a lot of people found our channel. 1 minute they're probably looking up I wonder what time the mall opens tomorrow. The next minute they're looking up somebody buying a hoarder house and emptying it out. And then they end up here watching us talk about nose hair. Oh, the circle of life that we've dragged you into. So this has been a real classy chat, but there's a lot, truthfully though, there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world right now. And sometimes you just gotta, you gotta take it seriously, but you gotta have fun and still just enjoy life too.
And remember, we're all going through this together. So
yeah,
you don't want to ever feel like you're stuck in anything alone.
That's right.
Nitrous said, wait, what's his name again? Is it Dave?
Dave?
No, Nitrous
Yeah.
Diecast.
Nitrous Diecast! I think
He said he got recommended the Hoarded House.
Oh, okay.
Or Hoarded. Well, that's the same thing.
I think some names I see, some usernames, I have a monster truck voice when I read your name. Like Nitrous Diecast is just Nitrous Diecast. It's Nitrous Diecast! One day only! Nitrous Diecast! Yeah, because it has to sound like a monster truck rally.
I'll ask everybody what their names are, and then I'll remember for a good, at least next live, and then I forget, and then it's back. David said, what's my voice?
David, let's say, Well, good afternoon. I'm David Conrad, and thank you. No, that's like a weird sports announcer now. And up to bat now, here at second base comes Rusty McGee. He's at 5-0 today. He's taking a swing. We don't know why he's on first base right now, but he's taking a swing with his bat. Oh, it's a swing and a miss. Anyway.
You know what's funny? With David, he said, so not me. You know what's funny, David, is for some reason I pictured you to be a teacher. So are you a teacher?
David Conrad?
Yeah.
Why, does this sound proper?
No, it's not that. I don't know why. In my brain, he's usually first on, most of the times on most people's vlogs, he's first commenter.
David Conrad says he has been a teacher. I'm going to look through your names right now and tell you which one of you will own a Rolls Royce.
Is that because you're going to sell it to them?
Let's see. David Conrad, he's fancy enough name to have a Rolls Royce. Let's see.
This is like a bad, like...
You're all capable, but I need to imagine a monocle. I need to imagine a monocle.
Their name is Silver Flare.
Yes, and somebody says your prime minister's wife has coronavirus. Yeah, sadly they do. Matthew Fox says maybe. Yeah, Digger Ocean. Okay, no, Digger Ocean. You have a half ton with mud flaps and one door that's mismatched. If your name is Digger, you have specifically you have an '87 Chevy. Like an S10. God. It's kind of that two-tone yellow and white, but you've got one brown door, and your mud flaps on the back, like they say, keep on trucking or something. That's right. Hey, look, Digger's here. I'm like, oh, hey, Digger, good to see you. And then he pulls up, and he's like, blah, 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 like Cooter's Garage. That's what you get.
Do you dance?
Do I dance? I was thinking about dancing earlier that we should, what is this now? I guess by judging your name, I shall tell you what car you have.
With a gun rack, somebody said.
With a gun rack. Sharon Lipinski drives a Toyota Corolla, perhaps. Sharon sounds like a sensible name, doesn't it?
Silver Flare even said, I even have a first stole to wear while driving it.
Yeah. So no. I'm hoping somebody said, are you going to keep the Rolls Royce? And I don't think so because I'm not fancy enough to drive the Rolls Royce, or I don't want people to think that I'm fancy enough. I want people to see me and think I'm a little bit off, and then they watch me get into the Oscar Mayer car and drive away, and they go, yeah, that guy's a full-on nutcase. That's the kind of car I need. If you're in a Rolls Royce, they're like, la-la-dee-da. So, yeah. Dan Allen says, guess what car I drive? Dan, you are a man who has a muscle car from the 1970s or late 60s, I'm guessing.
I can't see your picture.
Dan Allen has...
I have like on my phone.
He's got, I don't know, let's see. Does he have a GTO? I don't know, let's see.
I can't.
Dan Allen sounds like the name of somebody who's got a muscle car or some kind of hot rod.
I have
That's
a cousin named Alan, so I instantly think.
Yeah, so now somebody said Firebird.
Well, now I want to know what you actually drive.
Yeah, now, okay, but you have to tell me what you actually have. If I guess what car you have, you're going to have to tell me what you actually have.
And then tell us what we win.
Yeah. I had a midlife crisis car when I was 20. What does that say? I was like, I wasn't planning on driving long, I guess.
No, I don't see it. I didn't see if he put it.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, wait, somebody said, what does Dan drive? Dan drives an AMC Pacer. No, he doesn't. Dan doesn't drive a Pacer. He's not a Pacer
you're
guy.
good. 67 Merc, Park Lane, and it's 97 Grand Am.
See, I knew it. I knew it. See, look, these are my psychic abilities. Yeah, I can guess from the name.
Yeah, what kind of car do I drive?
You don't drive a car.
Oh.
She has a sport utility vehicle.
Yeah, I do.
See, I almost successfully guessed Dan's vehicle right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, Melissa says, what car do I drive? Melissa drives...
Me?
No,
or another one?
No, Melissa on here.
I don't see her comment.
I'm going to guess that she drives... you drive a like a Chrysler, I'm going to say like a late model North American car. Like a Chrysler or a Ford or something like that. She goes as Jesus is God is what her name is on there.
Oh, yeah.
And don't spite me, smote me if I'm wrong. I shall not be smoten. So let's see if I'm right about that one.
Hannah Maddox. You gotta guess.
Hannah Maddox.
Yeah.
She drives something funky. Hannah drives a car that's probably not super new, but it might have some kind of stickers on the back that is like, not like 9 Inch Nails, but something kind of funky and cool. Like maybe I skateboarded over the Hoover Dam or something like that. So I'm gonna guess that Hannah Maddox has a 2003 Tercel with like skateboarder type stickers on the back.
A Tercel.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna think of
Like she's not in college anymore. She left college like years ago, but she's still kind of trendy. And people are like, man, when I'm her age, I'm gonna be super cool.
Okay, let's see if any of them.
Oh, she says she has a 46 Chevy, 4 on the floor. Well, I guessed that wrong. See, this is why my psychic abilities are...
Who was that had the 46 Chevy?
Yeah, oh, somebody said that Hannah has a
Melissa.
deadhead sticker. Let's see if I'm right. We gotta look for Hannah's to come through. Oh, wait, hang on. Pam's creative artist. Well, I don't see, that's not your name. This has to be name appropriate. I know your name is Pam. Let's see. I'm gonna try Tim. Tim says, "What do I drive?"
But this isn't his full name either.
Tim, I don't know what you drive, but what you do have, you drive it like it's stolen. You get in your car and you probably you're like, McDonald's cup? Ha, I don't care. And then he steps on the gas pedal and he burns out of a parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
He leaves L's all the way down the highway. He drives his car. Tim drives cars like they're stolen, whatever they are. He has fun. That's what Tim does. And I'm gonna...
Hannah said she has a 2007 Toyota van with a vape store sticker.
Ah?
My truck has a scarab sticker and a sticker that says Rooter.
See, I was pretty close there, Hannah. Wow, I'm surprising even myself by being 50% correct. But I did get the stickers. Hannah actually does have stickers on the back of her car, and it is a slightly older vehicle. And Hannah, are you still kind of cool even though you're no longer of college age? We'll see if she answers back.
Anybody can be of college age. I'm in college.
True, but I mean, she's probably 32 or something. She went in for an arts degree for an excessively long time.
She's probably younger than us.
And then she was like, man, that was a long time. She said, Hannah's like, I'm totally rocking. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those. She studied either philosophy or arts or something is my guess. Dave Walker says, guess my first car. Dave Walker's first car, let's see. Dave, the name Dave makes me think that he's probably your dad's age. Dave's first car was maybe a 50s car, a 50s Pontiac or Chevy or something along those lines. If I'm correct, Dave, give us a thumbs up or tell us what you actually had. Because Melissa's dad's first car was a 64 Pontiac, I think. And that was...
No, it was whatever was in the back.
No, he had a Pontiac. Oh... somebody says he had a... No, he didn't have a T-Bird. I need to see what Dave said he had. Okay, so I'll do 2 more car guesses. Oh, 63 Impala. Well, I said 50s or 60s car. That counts, right?
Did you say it has wheels? I got it.
No, I knew it was going to be a classic. But 63 Impala is a good car. I had a 64 Impala for a nanosecond. You can watch me dig it out of a garage on one of my older episodes. Okay.
You just plugged another vlog.
Yeah. So let's see. John Brewer says, guess my first car. John Brewer, your first car was a 40s Chrysler. I'm going to say a 46 Chrysler. And he's going to be like, man, and that thing was tough to drive. Fluid drive transmission. Hard as heck to take around a corner. But boy, it had lots of trunk space. I don't know what he had. I'm going to guess a 40s car. So it seems to be we're going back in time here. And the last one I'll guess will be Angela. Angela, let's see. Angela Severn, I think is what it is. She says, guess what I drive. Angela, you maybe have driven a Pontiac Sunfire or something. You have a car that is sporty, but yet practical. So it's like a Pontiac Sunfire or something. It's something that's a two-door. It's probably a North American car. And it's kind of fun. Maybe it's red or something. I don't know if I'm right or not, but we'll see.
My dad said his first vehicle was a 53 GMC pickup, but his first car was a 64 Pontiac.
Oh, okay. Well, now I've just basically turned this into a guess your
72 Monte Carlo.
Oh, you know what I know what's funny, John, is that I was with, what did I guess for him? I said a 46 Chrysler. Now I was way wrong. I'm sorry. I have a story about a 72 Monte Carlo. In our neighborhood, I didn't see anybody really driving the car by. What I saw was a little old lady hat, which I presume she could see over the steering wheel, driving a 72 Monte Carlo up and down the street. And it was rusted out pretty bad, but she drove it nonstop. And this story gets kind of dark, I guess. But so anyway, the lady, this is when Melissa and I had a toy store. And so she came in one day, and I don't know what she looked like because I kid you not, all I could see was her hat. Like here's the top of the door, and all I could see was like the top of her head as it drove by because she was like 3 feet tall driving a 72 Monte Carlo. And I always thought, that's a weird car that somebody drives every day. Probably like people see me in my Cadillac and think that guy's a nutcase. And they're right, I am. But we had a toy store and we sold die-cast cars, and this lady who's like 3 feet tall walks in and she goes, do you have a die-cast? And die-cast are the little metal model cars. Do you have a model car of a 1972 Monte Carlo? And I went, do you have a green Monte Carlo? She's like, yes, I do. I'm like, I've seen your car drive up and down the road before. She's like, and then I said, I haven't seen you drive it lately. She said, well, wait, I have to do her voice. I had to park it because I'm old. She didn't say that, but that's basically what she said.
You had to do her
People
voice,
don't say
but
that.
you
People don't announce that I'm old. Give me a discount. I'm old. Mind you, my dad used to do that. He's like, I'm a senior. I deserve my discount. Never has a person been more happy to get a senior's discount than my dad. Anyway, oh wait, what did he say?
OMG, that's almost dead on. I learned to drive on the Autobahn, but I do drive a 99 Honda Accord.
Oh, okay, there we go. I'm getting close. So the Monte Carlo, I say, well, what happened to your car? She said, well, she had to park it, on account of her oldness. I'm inventing words now. She was a lovely elderly lady. Let's not beat around the bush. She was a lovely person. But she did say that she couldn't drive any longer. So I made it, I said, well, what are you doing with it? She said, she's probably going to sell it. And I said, what do you want for it? She said, it needs to get towed out of there. And they said they're going to charge me $100 for the tow. So you can have it for $100 and you can come get it. And the thing still drove. So I went and got it. But she said, come to my house after work and you can pick it up. But she said, I don't use a telephone. So you think we're bad, like people who don't have like landlines anymore or people who just use a cell phone or whatever. She didn't use any type of phone. Like you could only reach her by mail or like if you knew her address. And so she gave me her address, and you know how it was one of those apartments where you had to buzz up, but I didn't know her buzzer number. But she said she was like the second one over from the door. So I literally did the thing where you like chuck like a little pebble at the glass until somebody comes to the door. And so I chucked the little pebble at the glass and she comes out and I buy the car and I drive it home. She says, I've owned the car since brand new. I've driven it every day. I've never washed it. She'd never washed the car since 1972. And then she says like this, and I can't open the trunk. And then she gives me the ignition key and I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. And so I drive away. And so, of course,
I thought this is where this story was
No,
going.
okay. Well, she said she hadn't been inside the trunk in over like 30 years or something. Incidentally, she's single. Her husband's passed away for some time. So I get the car home and I decide, okay, well, I'm going to get inside the trunk. So on a North American car, not like the Rolls, if you guys watch the Rolls video, normal cars, you can take the back seat off and you can kind of get your hand or whatever, you can look inside the trunk. So I took the back seat of the Rolls, you can't do that. I had to reach that little peeky hole and get my hand in there like, I needed Thing from the Addams Family to crawl in there. And that's where you need a disembodied hand to be your helper. Anyway, so I decide the first thing I wanted to do was to get inside the trunk of the car. So I drive the car home and it's a rust bucket, but interior is mint, go figure. And I take the seat off the back and I look in and there's like not much in there, but I'm able to pop the trunk open with the little latch. I get it open and I get around to the other side and I kid you not, these were the contents of the trunk. Underneath a layer of about an inch of dust, an inch like that much dust, are the following: a tarp, a shovel, and a half-empty bottle of vodka. So, and I'm thinking, how long has your husband been missing for? So at that point, I'm thinking like, do I report a crime? Like that's pretty creepy. So, and then I'm thinking, nah, probably nothing. I'm sure the shovel's in case they got stuck in snow, and the tarp as well, because, I guess you never know when you need a tarp, and the half-empty bottle of vodka, well, she's an Eastern European lady, so who am I to judge what her habits are? So that was the contents of the trunk. Oh, there was a spare tire in there too. So yeah, a spare tire, but yeah, a tarp, a shovel, and a half-empty bottle of vodka. And I'm thinking, my first thought was, I thought she took out her husband for sure. Like that man, and now she doesn't have like a phone and she's like laying low and stuff for the last 30 years. So anyway, hopefully I didn't buy a crazy murder car. I don't think so.
I mean, the tarp was clean.
Yeah.
Angela, before I forget, she wrote back and said, "Nope, I drive a mom minivan." I used to call it the mama-mobile when I had a van.
But you didn't. Okay, Angela, you didn't always drive. Angela, you didn't always drive a mom minivan. I can't imagine. Angela, you look to be a redhead in your picture there, and that seems like she's a fiery lady. I'm still imagining she had like back in the day she had like maybe a '96 Pontiac Sunfire that was red with a convertible, like a sunroof or something.
Did you drink the vodka?
No, I didn't drink the vodka. I didn't drink the vodka, just like I didn't eat the food I found at the Potter's house. There's many things I don't do. I can resist. Unlike my friend Bob, who will apparently smell and sample like expired medicine. Don't do as Bob does. But yeah.
Oh, he smelled it? Did you see that one, or did he tell you?
I don't know. He's like sniffs and samples.
I watched that vlog. He was smelling it to see what it smelled like. Some smelled okay, but the expressions were pretty funny.
So Bob,
and he had survived that.
Bob collects bottles. We know this. Bob, the bottle man. Obviously, the man collects bottles. Somebody had given me a set of glass Coca-Cola bottles that were from the Millennium. That's like 20 years ago now. And they had the polar bear on it. It was like Millennium. It was like special edition or whatever. And it was like 2 6-packs of them. And don't ask me why. My instinct was to keep them in the fridge. But anyway, because I don't know. They'd been not chilled for a really long time. So I thought as a bottle collector, Bob might want them for his collection. And Bob decided to find out just what good laxative Coca-Cola makes after 20 years in a bottle.
You
Well, yeah.
You tried that beer, Alexander.
I took like a sip of that beer, and that was really gross.
It had floaties, like...
Well, Angela says, yeah, I'm a redhead, but no car like that. Well, Angela, you've missed your calling because I'm picking up that you need to get yourself a sports car. That's what Angela needs, is she needs to get herself kind of sports car, but not too unsensible, like a sports car that seats 4. That's what kind of sports car you need. So let's see.
I missed something because it just says T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said they just saw an announcement of all public viewings. The Wienermobile will not be the... I can't say it's... Okay. Oscar Mayer isn't sending their car around. Because how else do you say that? The wiener will no longer be shown in public? You can't... Anyway.
But then you went ahead and said it.
Well, yeah, because that's what came to mind. How would they announce that? If you're Oscar Mayer, you have to have a sense of humor in your advertising. Yeah. Okay. Zoltar has been busy, by the way. Lots of people come in to get their fortune told by Zoltar. Here I am trying to guess your car. Maybe I should get it so Zoltar can tell you what type of car you should have. If like some 9-year-old kid who's dreaming about like a Lamborghini, it's like, you should buy yourself a minivan, a good sensible vehicle. And the kid's like, you ruined my life, Zoltar. Dreams are squashed. Aim lower and be more practical. This is the worst fortune ever, poor kid. I should have a sensible fortune telling machine. Like the Zoltar is great and everything, but he's always like, you should live your life freely and go have fun. Like he's very optimistic, right? But they should have one that's like, just sensible. You should buy a loaf of bread today because you will make a sandwich tomorrow. I'm like, well, was that like a proverb? No, that's just very sensible advice.
Have you ever heard of Pizza Za?
Pizza Za?
Yeah, they said, do people in Alberta call Pizza Za?
Oh, I've heard people call it Za before.
Oh, I see. I thought it was like a restaurant.
No.
Pizza Za.
If they're like, do you want to go out and get some Za?
I'm so going to say that. The next time we order pizza, I'm going to say that. Only Alexander will know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, there you go. So guys, this was kind of a silly live feed. I guess the moral of the story today is just live your life and have fun and get out there and, don't get out there if you're quarantined. If you're sick, maybe don't get out there at all, but you should still live your life in the confines of your safe home for 14 days. Yeah. Live life as fully as you can. Like here's what I'm planning. If I get stuck indoors for 14 days, I'm working on my car. So go get yourself a hobby if you've been planning on like, I don't know.
All those projects that need to get done. Now's the time. I mean, except for if you feel awful, then
yeah.
Feel free to sleep.
Forget going out and buying a whole pallet full of toilet paper from Costco. Yeah. Go to Michael's and buy one of those crazy needle points that normally takes you a year to do. You'll like get that. That'll eat up your time like crazy. Like a nice, pastoral farm scene from England and needlepoint. That'll eat up some time in a hurry. Go get one of those. I guarantee people aren't rushing Michael's being like, if I'm going to stuck in my house for 14 days, I want to have a craft. So I've got a big old car down there that needs finishing. So if I get stuck indoors, I'm going to be having fun and working on that.
I mean, it does seem scary. I mean, but you have to be very careful when it comes to fear, right? So you want to make sure that you're safe. And I mean, I don't want to say and enjoy yourself, but I mean,
Why can't they enjoy themselves?
yeah, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'm totally going to have fun working on my car. Yeah.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So thank you for watching today's, hopefully today was, whoa, dude, it was pandemic. Is that going to be a thing now?
Wow.
That's inappropriate, probably.
It's a good thing it's not a live feed. We can just edit it out.
Yeah. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Don't let that be the next thing. Whoa, pandemic, dude.
I just keep saying it.
Why is a surfer happy about everything? Do you want our secret sauce on your hamburger? That'd be gnarly, dude. Secret sauce is where it's at, man.
Oh my gosh. It's like between a surfer and like your Hans impression.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only fair for Hans on his channel to do an Alexander impression. I think that all of us would like to see that, Hans, if you're still on.
Oh, look at me. I'm Alex. Oh, la-ti-da. I don't know. That's my impression of myself, apparently. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and pandemic free this coming week. And if you do get stuck indoors, go back and watch some YouTube videos from your favorite YouTubers and just have fun and maybe do some crafts with some needlepoint or fix a car. Do something. Enjoy your life, have fun, and have a wonderful night. Bye, guys.
Good night, everyone.